It doesn't make sense when you're not healthy, when you go, because you let your food down. Think about, it's not just you, there's three others depend on you 100%. And if you get sick up there, I mean, sick if you have, for example, narcolepsy, you fall asleep. So you should prepare something, and you fall asleep preparing it, then the whole crew suffers from that. So we are really, really very picky on the first crews who are growing up that they're absolutely healthy. And you will have, if you're selected to 24, in 2015, a yearly medical checkup. This is an absolute select out. And then the other issues is some ask me, okay, I'm not selected this round, can I still go to Mars? Yes, you can. So we will have, as Bas mentioned before, every year or every 2 years, new selections and we fill up. Why we can do it and why it works? Because we're working different from the agencies. So you have, for example, NASA, who select astronauts after 2 years, they're astronauts, and then if they're healthy enough to fly or they don't fly, we have not the choice to say, oh, now you don't fly. We have really every 2 years we send 4 people up. But during our training, we select them out too. And how that works is, if you're selected in the 24 last ones, you will have 9 months of training. Training means not just physical training, it means mostly training your brain, which means you will learn medicine, dentistry, electro-engineering, mechanics. And some people ask me, oh, if somebody is a specialist in or engineering, wouldn't he have a better chance? I said, no, because how does he help me when he sees blood and gets unconscious? He's useless for that. So why would he have an advantage as an electro-engineer? So you have to be really trained in all the specialties, but different from the universities. We don't give a multiple choice test or writing a nice essay. You have to show it actually, then you can do what you learned. You will be 3 months in an isolated environment in your group and compete with the other groups, and you have to show in emergency situations, and we will give you a lot of emergency situations what we can come up what might happen on Mars, that you can solve it not only fast, you solve it efficiently and in a very good group environment with your group to be most effective. And that's what we look at. If you can't do it, you will be out. So if you can't keep up with the training and learn these things and prove to us, or if the group dynamic doesn't work, you will be out. The more difficult part is, if one of the group doesn't make it, the whole group has to go and has to restart again. Why? Because if you have a group of 4, you take one out and you replace it, the whole group dynamic starts at 0, at the 0 level, because everything changes in the group. So then the question came up, what happens next? So currently we send out the letters to you to sign up for the medical certificates. Middle of March it will be approximately finished, and we really know who is in group number 2. So some of them couldn't pass the medical from the general physician. Some of them, as you know, you have to go public to stop because whatever family members or company chef or whoever said you can't go, I don't want you. So we will have less than 1,058, and these applicants, and we will inform you on time, I will not tell you yet when it will happen, we will have regional rounds. Regional rounds, personal rounds, which means you get some questions, you get some challenges, and will be in your own region. Region means North Europe, West Europe, East Europe, for example, or West Africa and West Arabia or so on. So the United States will be split, because there are many applicants from the United States, mostly in 4 parts, West, East, Northeast and South. Then when you pass these challenges, and in group number 4 we might make one more regional challenge, and then you will come to the United States for group number 4, where you have international challenges. So in this case then you will be really with everybody around the world and challenge, and from that we will select 24. Does it guarantee you when you need 24 that you fly to Mars? No. I tell always you fly to the Mars when you sit, and Bas mentioned before, in the rocket and not a minute earlier. So you can be always selected out at any time. And why we make it so hard, you have to prove yourself. And on Mars, you cannot take a break. You said, okay, today I don't want to do this work anymore, I want to go home. Will not work. So we will prepare you for that ahead of time. Some of them want to know, what challenge and what we will get. I say, when you go to Mars, you go to the unknown, to the unexpected, and you have to learn to be prepared
at any time, whatever happens. So how do you deal with uncertainty? How do you deal with ambiguity? We look at the things too, because that you will have to have on Mars. Selection criteria, one of them I mentioned is the health. That's one of the key issues. The other one, how well you work in your group. And one of the key features is how well do you know yourself. Because you have to really to know who you are, the little things in daily life, not the big ones. So think about you come home after your work. Do you like that you are the person live the socks, as they always in the living room? And if you can't stand that in normal life, it's not such a big issue. But if you're 24 hours with this person, you get annoyed 24 hours, he leaves the socks always in the living room. And when he puts it away and think, oh, I should put it away, he will get nervous about that. So really the little things, do you get annoyed if somebody doesn't know his toothpaste, for example? So you're talking of very tiny things. So really when you look in the groups, you have to know yourself that you know the partner who complements you, who works with you. For example, you want that the dishes are cleaned before you go to bed, and the other person doesn't want it. It doesn't really work. But the complement would be you start going in the kitchen, clean your dishes, and the person next to you comes and just immediately takes a towel up and dry the dishes, for example. That would be a complement of working each other. And you have to find it by yourself, and we will help you too, and this will build the ideal teams that you really can work together. It is very different when you live for 24 hours day by day with each other in a very confined environment. You can't go out and take a break or go to a movie, whatever it is. And since luckily I had experience 110 days and we saw the problems from my experience, they were the personal problems which make the key issues which occurred. Then some of them said, okay, what happens, we have a reality show, for example. Is that a reality show, and why do you do that? We are not a reality show, but we want to give people who do not have the chance to go to Mars, who do not have the opportunity, that they can live with you as a messenger at the time. So we show them how you go into the selection, how you do your training, and the people really want to join that, and we expect from you that you talk about it too, because they want to see how you overcome the problems. And there are three big issues. One is a gender problem, the other one is the generation problems, and the third one is the cultural problems. So how can we work together from all the cultures we are coming? And we want to show you too that it doesn't matter what's your background, where you're coming from, you really can work together as a team. Then some of them give me the question, why don't you take only PhDs or only bachelor degrees? And I say, some did not have the chance to get educated, whatever the reasons are in the university, because maybe they have to take care of the family or other reasons, but they are smart enough and bright enough to do it. So why not give these people additional chance to go to Mars and fulfill their dreams? Then the next question comes about the government. Why don't you work with government? But look at it. If you want to apply for NASA, you have to be a US citizen. So if you're just unlucky and born on the wrong spot, you can never go to space with NASA. So we say it doesn't matter who you come, where you come from, you can come with us and you can go to space. Before we start the questions, we will have what I'm looking